Hey everyone, some quick thoughts on Shawn Michaels and his return to the ring. Wrestling for the first time in more than 8 years, of course, WrestleMania 26. He was defeated by The Undertaker and retired. I was actually there in the crowd at that event in 2010, and I'm going to quantify all of this by saying I am not a huge Shawn Michaels fan. I would never call myself a super fan. I, of course, was a much bigger fan when Shawn was in the Rockers. I did like the Rockers. I enjoyed that tag team. And then when he turned heel for the very first time back in '92 and kind of had that new attitude, that new Heartbreak Kid persona. So quantifying this with that, because it will tie into what I'm talking about throughout this discussion. So a lot of fans upset that Shawn is coming back, and I get it, because I was also in the crowd the night that Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24 and retired. Technically, yes, he retired from wrestling in the WWE, but he did not retire from wrestling, as we saw him back in the ring on that Hulk Hogan Australian tour and then wrestling for TNA Impact Wrestling. I was disappointed, I will admit that, and I understand why diehard fans, especially those who were there thinking they were seeing Shawn Michaels' last match, are upset. But this is professional wrestling, and retirements don't last, typically speaking. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, for crying out loud, came back 15 years after he retired due to an injury. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Edge back in the ring at some point, somewhere down the road. So, you know, and by the way, I was on hand for his last match as well, not bragging, but just kind of laying out some context here. So I get where fans could feel upset or, you know, whatever feelings they may be having when these superstars who say, I'm retiring, I'm done, especially the ones that they make a big spectacle out of. And WWE certainly did that with Ric Flair and with Shawn Michaels. Not so much Shawn to the level that they did with Flair, but, you know, Shawn did get a bit of a send-off there before he retired after WrestleMania 26. So I understand it. I'm not mad about it. I don't hate it. I actually am intrigued with the match idea of the Brothers of Destruction versus DX. I don't mind attraction matches, especially when it's something like this, the crown jewel. And I know there's all kinds of controversy surrounding the event going into that country and whatnot. That notwithstanding, it is a business. It's a business after all. And so when millions upon millions of dollars are being offered, I don't fault Vince McMahon, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, whoever made the deal. I get it. It makes sense. And I'm kind of glad that it is an attraction match between the four legends and not DX coming in and beating an established team, whether it be Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, or, you know, putting Shawn Michaels over AJ Styles or someone else who is current and on the roster. So I'm okay with it. I think it'll be fine. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be Shawn's last match either. So as they say, anything can happen in the WWE. So thanks again for tuning in to my 1, 2, 3 cents, and we'll talk again soon.